Welcome to Open Pepper Breeding. This is the first official video of the spring, and we're working with some of our F2 plants from our community project. If you don't know what we're up to, you can find us on Reddit at the R Pepper Breeding subreddit. We're doing a community project where we're working with 8 different lines, and these are primarily crosses with Aji Charapita and pink fleshed peppers. And then we're looking for an upright, small pink pepper, ideally with a good architecture, excellent flavor, and then something that we can give back to the community. And so of the 8 lines, today I'm working with 3 of them. So over here on stage left is Aji Charapita by Fidalgo Roxa. And so Fidalgo Roxa is a pink fleshed pepper. It's small-ish, it's hot, and the main interest for us is this very attractive purple foliage. And so I planted up 50 or 100 seedlings and then grew them up to about the 2-leaf stage, and then I tried to select the ones that had purple leaves. And so this is what's left out of that. They've been under shade cloth while they were acclimatizing, and now they've been out in the sun for a couple weeks, and so we're starting to get a real good look at which ones have the purple leaves, and the ones that do show that anthocyanin accumulation, those will be the ones we pot up today. The other plants here in the middle, this is PA008, and so this is Aji Charapita crossed to pink Habanero long. And this one, we noted that pink Habanero long has an excellent plant architecture, but the fruit quality is not really quite there. And so we're going to be looking for a plant that's got really good architecture and an excellent flavor, pink flesh, and then hopefully upright fruit. And then over here on stage right, these are Aji Charapita by Habanada, and that's PA003. And this plant we're looking for excellent flavor, good architecture, and then the upright fruit. So let's go ahead and take a look at our supplies here. We've got our plants, and these have been watered in nice and well by the rain last night. You want to make sure that the root ball is hydrated when you do potting up, because if it is dry, it's going to be very hard to get that root ball rehydrated in that next size up pot. We've got bamboo stakes, and so these are just from your local big box store. They're usually sold in 6-foot lengths, and then I cut them in half, double up on your value there. And then we've got plant tying tape, and you can find this at horticultural supply places or online. Works really well for tying up the plants. And then I've got a plant stake marker, and so this is a UV stabilized ink that won't fade on you, at least for a couple seasons. And then I've got a few plant tags, and then I've got my next size up containers. So these are just they're about 4 inches, 8 of them fit in a 10-20 tray, and then they're filled with potting mix that I make myself. And so it's 2 parts peat moss, 1 part coco coir, and then 1 part perlite. And then with that, I've mixed in a pre-plant fertilizer, and I use 14.83 grams of 1010, just cheap, not even slow release, just cheap fertilizer. And that's mixed in to give the plant something to feed on during those first few weeks. And then if you like, you can always add half a part or 1 part of coarse builder sand, the stuff they make cement with. Well, not really cement, they make concrete with it. And you can add that in. That adds a little bit of weight to the plants. If you're growing them outside, it helps them stay upright in those windy storms that we get during the summer. So with that, I'm going to clear some of the stuff off the table, and then we'll get to work. All right, so the table is clear. Let's go ahead and start working on some of these plants. And I've got my assistant here, this little dart frog, although I don't think he's going to hang around very long, and I don't think he's actually going to be very helpful. Let's see how he likes working with peppers. Hi, little buddy. All right, so this is a tray of 6, and we have 1 that's purple, 2 that are purple, 3, 4, and it looks like 1 is a straggler, a runt, a coal, and the other 1 is green. So we'll start with that. My favorite way to make up these containers is to use a mold, there he goes, of the plant that you're going to be putting in there. So I've just taken 1 of the individual cells and cut it away and filled it with soil so it's got some rigidity. And then when I make the pots, I put it inside like that, and then you get a perfect little indent of where you want to put your plant. Makes life really easy. Alright, with that, let's just do it. So, massage the root ball, get it loose, pull it out, You can see we got a pretty good root ball, just about the right time to pot this up. Easy peasy, throw it in there. Look at that, it's beautiful. And then make sure you always have a plant tag. Do it before you forget, because you will forget, you will move it, somebody will move it, and it'll be a disaster. So this is PA 008.01 and then OP. So that's the F1 in a bracket, and then that OP means that it's open pollinated, and so that's where our F2 is coming from. Slap that guy in there, and then because I know it's going to eventually become a problem, I'm going to go ahead and stake this guy up. So I just wanted to show you guys how I actually tie these plants up and give you a nice close view of it. I don't know if you could pick it up on the video, at least from that distance. So the plant goes in the hole, so it's sitting upright. Set it in a little bit. And then we're going to bring some bamboo in. And I slap it, about an inch away. You don't want to rip up the roots too much, but you do got to get it fairly close. So you pull your tape off, give it a little stretch to get a little extra play out of it. Like I said, it's hard enough to tie these knots. Then you come around the plant, make that cross, and you can see how the plant is now protected against the bamboo. And then you go ahead and you tie a double knot. So there's the first knot. And I like to hold the tape against it and kind of cinch it up. That way I don't pull on the plant and crush the stem or anything. And then just finish your double knot. And there you go. And I'll end up tying another one, as the plant gets a little bit older, but that'll keep it upright and protect it from storms. And so I've got quite a few more here to do. So we'll go ahead and plop him back in the 10-20 carrying tray and grab the next container. Alright, and then we just repeat this process. And if your plants aren't growing straight, you can put the root ball sideways in there. You want to make sure that the soil level in the tray that they're coming from is the same, but if you want to put that root ball at like a 45 so the plant sits more upright, it'll respond well to that. And then always make sure you don't stab yourself in the eye with this bamboo. It's a real danger out here, a real job hazard. OSHA would not be happy that I'm not wearing protective eyewear. There we go. Like I said, don't be stingy on the tape. If you have this little tiny length of tape that you're trying to tie a couple knots in, very difficult. There you go, there's two. Make another label. I know, it seems really wasteful, but honestly there's no way around it. And these labels are actually pretty hard to find. Everything you see on Amazon, they come in sheet to 5 and you got to break them apart, and they're very, very brittle. You do this and they snap in half. But you can find these on some of the more, some of the nicer horticultural online hydroponic stores. I think these came from Greenhouse Mega Store, but I can post a link to you if you're interested. Just send me a message. Alright, so it's kind of hard to tell who is purple and who is not. You got to look really close at some of these leaves here. This guy's purple. And again, you see how it's kind of crooked. I'll plant it just at a slight angle here, just to try to get a little bit straighter plant. And you want to treat all your plants as close to the same as you can. If you start putting them in different size containers and treating them differently, you'll affect how they grow. And we're trying to tell differences, minute differences sometimes between these plants. And so try to keep everything the same. We call that the environment. You want to hold the environment constant so that you can look at the effects of the genotype or the genetics of the plant. There's actually an equation. It's phenotype equals genotype by environment. Basically genotype multiplied X times environment. And that's basically, a simple way of saying that the phenotype that you observe is a product of both the genetics and then the environment, because plants are very plastic. Different heat, different light, different nutrients, different wind, all that stuff will affect how a plant grows, you know, sometimes in very dramatic ways. All right, just one more. Blow on it for good luck, slap it in there. And there you go. There you have it. That's about a third of the community project plants that have been potted up. I got a whole bunch of PA008s done, and I got to do work on PA007 and PA003. But I've run out of bamboo stakes and I have run out of potting mix, and so we're going to have to pick this up later this weekend, where I've got a whole bunch of work ahead of me. So thank you guys for letting me speak to you through this video. I appreciate all your participation in the community project. If you're not part of the community project yet, please find us on Reddit. This fall we're going to have an opportunity for you where we'll be distributing F3 seeds. And so we'll make our advanced selections out of the populations that I and other people are growing. And then we'll distribute those seeds out to you, and we'll start the process of stabilizing our pink Aji Charapita or our pink Brazilian starfish. Thank you guys so much. If you don't mind, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, like the video, do all that stuff, and let's try to beat the goddamn algorithms. Thanks guys, take care, talk to you soon.